Hey everybody, I'm Mike,
And I'm Vic.
and you're watching METS
Matt
in
in Florida.
Florida. What's up, Vic?
How you doing there, Mike?
Good, man. Good. We're on a roll right now. We're trying to, keep our foot on the gas. Great
W-
win last night.
One
Comeback
out of
victory.
one. One out of one.
1 out of 1. Comeback victory. Made me think of we had two huge hits in that game: the three-run homer by Pete Alonso, the grand slam by Frankie Lindor. Made me think of how clutch those hits were, and made me think of all the clutch hitting players that we've seen in our lifetime in the Mets uniform.
Yeah. So let's do the list now of players. We're gonna pick two players per position of the best clutch performers that we've seen. We personally seen either in person on TV. Nothing that came through before that we were really watching baseball,
Oh no, yeah,
on video
right.
because no highlights because it's distorted. But players that we've seen most of the games and got a good feel for these guys,
Yep, we're gonna go through each position and take two each, and then
and
talk
then try
about
to
it.
make the final hard cut at the end.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Uh,
tough. We'll do.
we might not agree, and that's fine. And everybody out there, you'll have your own opinions too. We want to hear from you. Give us the comments, and you had different opinion, or you think we're right on. Let us know.
Absolutely.
So without further ado,
Here we
let's
go. We'll
start
start
catcher.
catcher. And who do you have as catcher?
Well, this is a hard choice, but the two that I like was Piazza and Gary Carter.
That's who I had. Those both of them. That's gonna be tough because, of course, we've seen Piazza have so many clutch hits, including
Mhm.
probably the biggest hit in the regular season, but it transcended baseball with that one home run against the
9-11.
Braves.
Yeah.
When baseball came back, and
Yeah.
he of course he had some huge hits in the playoffs in '99 and
Absolutely.
2000.
Yeah.
Gary Carter, same thing. He had some huge hits. He kept that
Huge hits
rally
in
going in
86. Yeah.
1986.
The rally, the
Game
walk-off hit
six.
against the Astros.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, don't
It's like
forget, even his first game as a Met, he hit a walk-off home run,
absolutely.
1985, right?
Yeah.
Extra innings.
Yeah. This is that's a real tough one to make. And
That's a tough one.
it's like you can't go wrong by either one.
And both
It's
in the Hall of Fame.
both of them when they were up, it was a must-see TV. And when it was crunch time, he was one of the guys that I was like, I wanted up in that position.
Yeah.
And there's another person I wanted up in that position, but he'll be in the next position that we speak about. And we'll
Okay.
go transcend over to first base. Who do you have?
First base. Let's see. Yeah, it was a pretty tough one. There were some good ones, but my favorite that I have really good memories of, probably the other one I have. I thought of another one, but I think you probably have better memories than I do. But the one I always think of is John Olerud.
Good one.
John
Very
Olerud.
clutch.
Um, not the fastest guy in the world, but he always seemed to come through.
Yeah. He was, there's some similarity with Nimmo as far as working the count, except that he hit for a higher average and had more power.
Yes, he just didn't have the speed, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now he very calm, very stoic.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful swings I've ever seen.
Yes.
He was
Definitely a clutch
unbelievable. I loved
performer.
him. One of the
Now
most underrated Mets of all time.
absolutely underrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely underrated. But this person won't fit on the underrated because every Met fan loves this
Gee, who's
guy.
that?
I love this guy. Met him in person. Awesome guy. He was the
Yes.
man, the myth, the legend, Keith Hernandez.
Gee, who's that? Yeah, no, that's great. Now from what I remember of Keith, he was super, not just with the bat, but of course on the field. He did things nobody else did.
Yeah.
So
something about Keith was, which is different than some players that we watch nowadays, is you can almost think along with Keith when he was in at the plate.
yeah.
You could almost see the wheels turning
Oh
on what
God,
he was
yes.
going to do. And
Oh
the thing
yes.
about Keith was when he didn't come through, you were totally shocked. you were totally shocked if he didn't come through,
No, no.
and it wasn't, I don't remember any time. I'm sure there was a lot of times it didn't come through, but nobody's perfect. No one is. Uh, but I mean, you fail 7 out of 10 times to be a 300
He's
hitter.
still great, yeah.
But he just seemed like always had a plan and always kind of came through. I just remember more coming through than not, with
Yeah.
him. I mean, the guy was turning the franchise around.
He definitely was.
Yep.
Both excellent choices. Second base, we got a couple of interesting names. I'm gonna go with I guess I'll go with the more recent one because this guy pretty much carried us, and I hate to use the word carry when you talk about a baseball team, but this guy carried us throughout those playoffs, and that's Daniel Murphy.
Absolutely. We don't get into the World Series without Daniel Murphy.
No.
The guy went into another
Stratosphere.
stratosphere as far. I'm hoping that a few of our guys do that in the playoffs.
Even half what he did. No, it was
Half what he did,
unbelievable.
just go in, and it'll be a great long run for us.
It's always a great contact hitter, but he turned on the power shoes, put on the power
Yeah.
shoes as well. It was great.
Absolutely.
Who do you got?
The guy that I have, the Fonz.
I love Fonzie. Fonzie's one of my
Giancarlo
all-time favorites.
Alfonso.
I love him.
Yeah. Love the guy. Great human being, great with the fans, very clutch. Always wanted him in that position. Another guy, just clutch both sides of the field. Defense,
one of my favorite moments of him,
offense.
of course, was the grand slam he hit in Arizona.
Absolutely. What a game.
Game one. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's had
he
some
had so many.
I'll never forget the regular season in '99 when he went in Houston. He went 6 for 6 with 3 home runs.
Yes.
That
was like I think that was probably the most fun game offensively I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
6-6, and
that was a great lineup. I love that. I love that '99 team.
Yeah, that was a very fun team. Yeah, so those are our two. Second base.
We got third base.
Third base.
Who's your guy?
Well, I'm gonna have to say, oh, I love both of these guys. My guys, Robin Ventura and David Wright.
Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong with either one.
Either one. Both had big time hits in regular season, in the playoffs, stellar defense, just many clutch hits.
Of course, Robin Ventura, one of the biggest clutch hits of all time.
The grand slam single.
There'll never be another one.
Exactly. There'll never be another one of that.
No, man. So, I mean, what more can you say? Now, there's one other name in third base that I would consider, and that's Hojo.
Right.
He had some big hits too in the stretch runs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard one. I saw Hojo play. I loved Hojo. Hojo was
most dangerous hitter in the National League for like 3 years. He was unbelievable.
I wore his number when I played ball.
20. Yeah.
I love 20.
Yeah.
But
Pete wears it well.
Yeah. Yes. But I think and he did have some big hits. He had great numbers, Hojo, but I think when it comes to clutch, which we're trying to get away from just overall great number seasons, just clutch hitting, I got to go with David Wright and Robin Ventura.
Yeah, well, definitely. No doubt about it.
They just have a little bit more of that.
Next, we have shortstop. I'm going to go with, I'll go with the one who is our leadoff hitter, who won a batting title, has a lot of speed, triples, Jose Reyes.
Yeah, Jose Reyes, very clutch, great offensive player, had a lot of clutch moments. I'm gonna go outside the box because we haven't had a lot of offensive-minded shortstops until now, until Lindor. So I'm gonna kind of a little asterisk on this one. And that's going to be Ray Ordonez.
Oh, I agree.
While he didn't provide many clutch hits, he had many clutch plays that saved runs. So if you look at it that way, I would have said I would have to have Ray Ordonez on that.
He saved as many runs as he was unbelievable.
Yeah. I think he probably save more runs that he would be physically able to drive in, really.
Right. You saved some games
Yeah,
with that glove.
yeah, big time. Big time. All
So
right.
left
So this
field, I'm gonna go with the same year as Daniel Murphy, of course. He changed. He turned it all around for us when we got him in 2015. Yoenis, I mean, yeah, he's a bit flighty, but it's what are you gonna do? It's Yoenis
Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Yeah, that was clutch. From the moment he came to us, he was clutch.
Turned the whole lineup
Unbelievable
around.
clutch. Yeah, unbelievable clutch. I'm gonna go a little bit further back with a guy who had one of the most famous hits in World Series history. Um, and that is Mr. Mookie
Oh,
Wilson.
all-time great legend.
Okay. He had a not, he's known primarily for that. But he had a lot of clutch hits
He
in the
did.
playoffs, in the World Series. He had a lot of clutch hits. He was on base a lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna have Mookie on that list, with Cespedes and our left fielder.
I agree. And honestly, whether or not, some say he would have beat out that ball anyway.
I
The
am
point,
one of those.
yes, and not only that, but regardless, the point is that at bat alone, the fouling the pitches off, making sure you did not strike out.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
he
was so
fouled off
huge.
a lot. Actually, in one of the pitches, he just missed a double down the line.
That's what I mean. You don't realize.
And just as a side note, to all those non-Met fans out there who said that, oh, the Red Sox blew the World Series because of that play. Look back, the game was tied. Okay. They didn't lose the World Series because, hey, guess what? Even if Buckner that ball and beats Mookie to the bag, game goes into extras.
No matter
And
what.
there's no way the New York Mets lose that game
No.
after coming back on. There's no way. There's
No.
no way the Mets lose.
No.
I bet everything on the Mets winning that game, even if that ball did not go through the legs.
And so many people forget that wasn't game 7. That was game 6. The Red Sox
Exactly.
could have recovered, but
Yeah.
I was watching this one Mets documentary about the 86 team, and the guy said the 27 Yankees ain't recovering from that. So yeah, Mookie definitely. Those are great. Center field, even though this guy's controversial and he's remembered unfortunately for one negative, he did have a lot of clutches, not only with us, but with other teams in the playoffs, and that's Carlos Beltran.
Absolutely. Carlos Beltran definitely gets the, that short end of the stick as far as people remembering, because
he's an all-around great player.
Yeah, he had a lot of clutch hits. And if you look back at those numbers there, I mean, he's putting up those numbers today. He's a $50 million a year player.
He was very consistent.
It's like, getting 40 home runs from your center fielder. I mean, who's in that league right now? Robin, what's his name? I was about to say somebody else. Mike Trout is the only one.
And then I believe with a minimum, I forget how many attempts. I forget what the graphic is, but Carlos Beltran has the highest base stealing percentage.
Yes, he was
of all time.
Yeah. So I mean, so he was clutch. He was clutch in hitting, clutch in stealing bases, clutch
good defense.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely classic 5-tool player.
Yeah, I think it's time that Met fans start giving him love that he deserves.
Yeah.
I guess it was just his personality. I hate to say it was Kevin McReynolds like, because no, but he wasn't very vocal, at least outwardly. You didn't.
It took him a while to grow on us.
Exactly. So
and us grow on him.
Grew on you. Yeah. Notice that I said Kevin McReynolds, and we didn't include him in.
He's what?
Clutch. Kevin McReynolds, but we didn't include him in the clutch.
No, I know. He's a good player, but
good player,
and not to get up. Kevin McReynolds was a very good player, but while Kevin McReynolds was with us, there was a guy on another team that was leading the league in home runs, winning an MVP, and leading his team to World Series, and that was Kevin Mitchell. So
yeah, I missed Mitchell. I knew that was a mistake the moment they traded him. I knew it was a mistake.
The other Kevin M, yeah. So Now we got you got somebody for center field, right?
Absolutely. You can't even think about the 86 Mets or the crazy Mets without this guy. And that is Nails, Lenny Dykstra.
You don't say. I know. Unbelievable.
Lenny
I know. You gotta
Dykstra, boy, clutch all the way. From the moment he hit the majors running, he was clutch.
very
And
mentally strong hitter.
and afterwards, when he went to Philadelphia,
Oh
same
God,
thing.
yes.
You know,
Well,
I mean, that
our,
guy was clutch. I know he's had a lot of issues since getting out of baseball. I wish
maybe
he
that's part
wasn't.
of what made him what he was. He just
Yeah,
translated
it's
it to the field. Like I know he had the two main hits with him. I think of are the one against Houston. I think it was against Charlie Kerfeld. I think right or Al Nipper, one of those guys.
no, it was against their closer.
Yeah, I
That
can't
one
remember
he
who
hit
it
the home
was
run,
now.
the game-winning home run you're talking about?
Yes, game
Yeah,
three.
that was oh my God. It was their
Smith.
closer. I can't remember the closer's
Remember his
name.
name. And
Yeah.
of course, the one he hit in when we were down 0-2 to
The
the Red
leadoff
Sox.
triple.
He said, "I have to change. I have to turn this around."
Absolutely. The home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, despite all his flaws, God bless Lenny Dykstra.
God bless Lenny Dykstra. I hope he gets his life together because we
He
need
needs
to see
to.
him back at City Field.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to
And
see it.
I hope he buries a hatchet with that issue he had with Ron Darling.
I hope so
So,
too. I have a good memory of him. I met him in a
yeah.
spring training game one time when he was watching in the stands, and I
Yeah.
ran into him at the concessions. He signed the ball for me. Very nice to me. I had good
Yeah.
memories of him. So,
Well, I've heard him in interviews, especially in Howard Stern, which goes off the
oh, he's
rails. But
wild. No, no, no. Of
he's
course.
crazy, but he's always been so appreciative of the love that he got
Yeah,
from Met fans.
yeah.
For how he
He gets
played.
a.
And, yeah, he got it. You play hard, we love you.
Yeah, yeah. That's how we got to
And
look at it.
it's
And,
like
and he
you play
knows his
hard, we love
place.
you. If you play hard, we love you. And if you come through, you're you are
Transcended.
that's it. You're iconic.
Yeah,
That's it.
and he definitely was.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
was.
we got right field now. I'm going to go with the more recent guy, even though he's no longer playing, although he should be. And he turned out to be a disappointment, but you can't forget the clutch performance he did as a rookie, and that was Michael Conforto.
Yeah, I think Conforto was probably one of those biggest teases that we have ever seen because when he came up, it was like, wow, we got another clutch hitter.
He
How
was.
awesome. But
You wonder what
for the
happened
remainder,
there, you know?
but for the remainder of his career, he did have some clutch hits, but unfortunately, I don't know. I kind of remember a lot of misses more than clutch. I'll give him some clutch, but the person that I've come up with more being clutch is Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, yeah, him.
Remember
Yeah.
him?
Strawberry Fields forever. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
man, I agree with you.
I mean,
Absolutely.
big hits, lot of big hits during the season, a lot of crushing ones. I remember against Houston, the 2-homer night that he did, tying the game. I remember the home run he hit in St. Louis off the clock back in '85. Um, I remember the home run against Nolan Ryan when it was a pitcher's duel between him and Doc.
Yeah.
They're making 1-1. That is clutch as hell. I remember that one. And of course, the one against Houston when we tied the game at 4 with the home run in the playoffs, and that was against
Pretty
Nipper.
wild.
Yeah, and of course in the World Series. So it's yeah, he's my clutch performances. So now that did I lose you there?
No, I'm going to charge you while I'm talking to you. Sorry about that.
We had technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, I don't want to make sure we don't that. So now we're going to break it down and make the actual lineup.
Yeah, so now we have to pick one. We've listed our candidates and we have to pick one. So
now we'll start with the catcher.
the catcher. So who is your pick?
Even though it's so hard with these two. I still think at the end of the day, maybe also because of that one home run he hit, I think I'm going to go with Piazza.
Yeah, this is a really hard one
It's
because
tough though.
I saw both of these guys a lot. Love them both. They both had so many clutch hits, but
I mean, I
if
would, yeah. I mean,
if push
flip a
comes to
coin.
pull, you can do a lot worse with going with the best hitting catcher of all time. So Piazza's for me as well. Love Gary Carter, but Piazza edges him out just a little bit.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I agree with you. Barely though, barely.
Yeah, Bailey. Yeah.
Um,
First base.
First base. Yeah, I know. Those are two great names. I think at the end you still. I mean, I love Johnny, but I think you have to go with Keith.
Yeah, I got to go with Keith.
You got to go with Keith.
Yeah.
Keith. And again, I mean, Johnny was good in his own right with defense, but Keith even the defense. If we got Ordonez in there for defense, you got to consider defense with everybody. I
Right.
know Carter was a better defensive catcher than Piazza, but
Right.
in a Piazza's case, he's just the greatest hitting catcher of all time.
Right.
Whereas with first base, as much as we love John Olerud, you still have that defense with Keith, and
Yeah.
he was
He
just
was just
mentally. I mean, he
it's
played chess
unbelievable.
with you. Like
Yep.
he knew I'm gonna hit the ball there. I'm gonna put it there. I mean,
Yep.
Johnny was great in his own right, but yeah, I got to go with
Yeah.
Keith.
Keith it is. Second
So,
base.
oh God. Well, you got that one playoff performance.
We kind of got to weigh it out as like playoff performance, which is historic.
One,
Um,
yeah,
and then you have longevity and playoff performance, but longevity.
and a Gold Glove,
Yeah.
or good defense.
Yeah.
I guess I still think at the end of the day, we love you, Daniel. I'm still going to go with Fonzie.
I agree with you on that one. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with Fonzie. It's really close. I just remember more clutch performances during the season
Yeah.
by Elgardo. And also in the playoffs too, like 1 game playoff. And so I going to do that. I mean, I can never forget the Murphy and almost swayed me. It almost swayed me
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go with
Yeah.
Murphy, but I'm gonna have to go with Alfonso just because of longevity and the amount of times I actually saw him come through in a clutch, beating out Murphy's, playoff heroics. I think I might have switched off on Ergato if Murphy continued that in the World Series. Then I
Yeah,
think
he
that would
kind of
have swayed me.
disappeared there. He
Then it would have,
disappeared.
yeah, I think that would have swayed me. All right,
We got third base, right?
third base. Robin Ventura and David Wright.
Robin Ventura has probably the greatest clutch hit of all time in Mets history, but you probably, for the long term, have to go with David Wright.
I'm gonna go with David Wright.
David Wright would be a Hall of Famer if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
He was on that path.
and he was good defensively as well.
Yep.
Almost as good as Robin, but not
Hey,
quite.
not for nothing, but on a side note, if Scott Rowland gets into the Hall of Fame,
And David Wright's got to get in.
then you got to look at David Wright.
And so I
you
agree.
have to look at dominant position for at least 5 years, and he has that.
Yeah.
Gold Glove and hitting. You got to go. So.
Shortstop.
I think we
Reyes,
have
I
Reyes
guess.
and Ordonez. I got to go with Reyes.
Yeah, you got to go Reyes.
Yeah, I got to go with Reyes.
Triples. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I have to go with him.
No.
Ordonez, let's have this conversation again in 10 years. And see, and it might be very different with Lindor,
Yeah. Oh God,
So,
yes. Boy.
So, but for now, it's going to be Reyes as the shortstop.
We got left field, and I hate to say it. I know we had the two names we mentioned. I thought of two other names. outside the box. Clutch defensively, of course, was Andy Chavez.
Yes.
Another offensively clutch player who we had for a very short time, but he's a Hall of Famer. That's Ricky Henderson. There's something
Ricky
to think
Henderson.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
did have
think
that
it's
one home run in Cincinnati, I believe.
yeah, I think
But I still like the guys we have ahead of them.
yeah,
But
I still have to go with the guys that we picked
I know. Just throwing
because
those
of
out there.
because it's like longevity and
Yeah.
impact.
Yeah.
You know, while Cespedes had the impact like we have never seen, Mookie had the longevity.
Right.
And ooh, this is a really close one. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with see, you got Mookie and we have Cespedes.
Yeah.
Mookie has one of the greatest hits of all time. Cespedes, it wasn't for Cespedes though. Our season doesn't turn around in 2015.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately now Cespedes totally disappeared in the playoffs.
I know.
But Cespedes did get us there. I don't know. I still think Mookie.
I
Mookie's
think
an
I'm gonna go
all-time
with
great.
I think I'm gonna go with Mookie
Me
for
too.
longevity, even though it was great with Cespedes. I think if Cespedes had another year similar to that, I would have changed my vote. But
And let's
yeah,
face it, too. Mookie's a major fan favorite, where Cespedes, the fans really aren't too crazy about him. So
right.
we're gonna go with Mookie.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now we're gonna do center field. Because we have Beltran and I got to go with Lenny. I think Lenny for center field.
Lenny center field. Okay. I'm gonna go with Lenny too.
Yeah.
Even though Beltran had a lot of clutch hits
If Beltran
and
had
had
come
great
through,
number.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Lenny because Lenny was in so many clutch situations.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Lenny. We agree there. Right field. Strawberry and Conforto.
Strawberry.
I'm gonna go Strawberry.
Longevity.
Yep. Longevity.
Still leads the
clutch.
Mets all time in home runs.
Yep. Yep. And he just came through in a lot of clutch situations like
So there you go.
That's explained. So Strawberry. So that's our list. And so what does everybody out there think? Are we on it? Do you have other names that you rather have? Remember, only players that you've seen play
Live.
live, no highlight reels. You can't go by that because you didn't see them enough. So let's hear from you. Give us your comments. We have other topics coming up, some very interesting ones as well, as we always will be coming up with new content. So like and subscribe. And till our next video, let's go
Mets. And we'll see you later.
See you later.
Take care. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
Vic.